Hurry, say something.
It's working.
It's blue.
This
It's
motherfucker.
blue. We had such a prime, dare I
Intro.
say it, delicious intro going, and technology decided,
The
per usual, to take it.
audacity.
Audacity had the audacity. It lived up to its name.
Oddities. Stay strange.
Are you gonna be okay?
The good news
My
is we
favorite.
only realized it a minute in.
Yeah, that was just a dip, a toe dip into the water. There was one time back in the day when we first started this podcast where my Audacity stopped working 5 minutes before we closed out an episode.
Oh, God.
It was so tragic, and it
Yeah,
was a good
no, that's
episode.
awful.
So,
Yeah.
c'est la vie, as the French would say. Um. Oh yes, hi. Welcome back to Oddities. I'm Cassie,
I'm Kelly.
and welcome back to Strange Town. Prepare yourselves. Prepare your bodies. Prepare your minds. We will be talking for 13 minutes if you're new here. But before we get to that, as per usual, we have a link to all of our fun things in the description. Our social mordia, our Patreon. Please donate to our show. If there's anything I could possibly do to make this my living, I would try and do it. I'm ready to start selling my soul. Also, foot pics.
Yep.
That's all. But there's no foot pics on the Patreon, I promise. And we also have a link to our merch store. Oh, fun! Well, it's going to be over by this point, but it is Labor Day weekend, and we do have ourselves a little sales ski going.
And I think post Labor Day sale, more sales will come. Like,
I agree.
like, the sales just fall
We have a lot of sales, actually. I think we run them very regularly
regularly.
on there.
Yeah.
We do. So chickadee check it out because the holidays are coming, and by holidays I mean the one that we only celebrate, which is Halloween.
Fall.
Yep, hallelujah. And right, so if you're new here, first of all, feel free to skip ahead to the 13-minute mark because that's where the stories will start. Because we're two intolerable cows, filled
Moo.
with intolerable banter. And Kelly and I had the dubious honor of receiving a negative review. Thaddeus, 1964. You can go fuck yourself every which way that I can humanly think of.
And yeah, and here's the thing. First off, we kind of love our bad reviews. Because
We do.
we
Actually,
have
Kelly and I laugh at them.
we have like a total of 3.
Yes, far more positive than bad.
But let me say this. You praying that someone gets cancer,
Oh, wait. Quote unquote, lady cancer.
precisely, you are the scum of the earth.
Yeah, you are a garbage person. Let's not do that, Thaddeus, 1964.
In the time it took you to write that, you wasted more time of life. You were
Yes.
so angry that we wasted your life with our intolerable banter. You wasted more of your life writing that comment.
Wishing us to get cancer. How nice. How thoughtful.
So,
I actually do thrive on the notion that somehow we manage to piss someone off so much just by being ourselves
that you
that they wish to
pray we get
that.
cancer.
It's like really
It's
kind of a
so,
feat.
oh gosh. And the only thing that made it better was the morning after I had read that comment, Cassie had sent me a great picture of somebody buying our intolerable mooing
Yes.
cow
Shout
merch.
out.
So shout out to that wonderful person. It is one of Cassie's friends.
Thank you. Yes,
You
Susykins.
you
Love you big time.
are amazing. You look phenomenal in our
You
merch.
look so good. We're gonna use you to model our shit. Thank
Really, we
you.
should. She really did look
She's
amazing in it.
adorbs.
So thank you
Yep.
so much. You're gorgeous. But Thaddeus,
You suck.
yeah.
Thaddeus 1964. I hope you step in dog shit 85 times over. But the nice thing is, I think we'll still somehow
Make merch
manage
out
to
of it.
find a way to make merch out of it. I think we're gonna not use the lady cancer part, but I think we'll go ahead and maybe use the biggest waste of time part.
Yeah, why not?
Do love that for us.
One
So new
star.
merch coming
Biggest
soon.
waste of time. Trademarked.
There it is. Trademarked. Consider it done. All of that funness aside,
How's my
how's my
bestie?
birthday? Me? Me first or you
Yeah,
first?
because I'm dying to know what's in store for
Yes.
date day.
It's date day, kids. And I'm in charge of planning.
Oh, so we know it's a
So,
good one. Well, Corey does great, but what's in
he
store?
does. I feel good about this. Have you ever been to medieval times?
No, I haven't.
Do you know what it
I
is?
do.
Okay, so we have a medieval times about an hour, 20 minutes from us. It's in like Baltimore. We're going to medieval times. Corey has never been in his entire life. For those of you who don't know what it is, medieval times
He's
is,
gonna have the best time.
I know he's going to nerd out so hard. So, medieval times is lit for a variety of reasons, but it's basically this show where you go and there's knights and they do different like competitions against each other. There's jousting, there's like a horse show, there's falconry, and like there's like this whole like they put together like this whole show around it with like a storyline and everything, and they give you fucking delicious food that you need to eat with your hands. And then you're split into sections. So you have a colored knight that you root for. And so, like, the last time I went was in college. And I'll have you know, our knight won, and he threw a flower to me. And he looked like Antonio
I
Banderas.
do
So,
remember this story.
yes. So I'm hoping it happens again. By the end of our date, I might be with the knight. We just don't know. But that's what date day is. So I'm fucking looking forward to it. Once we finish recording, I'm gonna edit and we're gonna be on the road because like I said, it's just a little bit of a drive for us.
I'm so excited for you guys.
He's gonna shit his pants.
He's gonna have the greatest time. Does he know?
I know. I wanted to surprise him, but I couldn't hold it in anymore. I was like, "We're going to medieval times," and he was like, he did the thing that Corey does, where he's like, "That's cool," but I know by the end of the night he's gonna be like thrilled, high on life, loving it. So we're going to medieval times. Plus, they have a bar. I didn't know that they had one when I was in. Well, I think I was like 18 when I went, so they wouldn't have served me anyway. But yeah,
It's gonna be lit.
it's gonna be the littest. I think we're gonna flip a coin over who's driving. But since I'm planning the date, I'll probably drive because I'm a gentleman.
Totally.
But I can have like a drink. I'll be fine.
Yep.
Maybe two. I'll be okay. Um, so that's that. This week was garbage. I did the math. I did the math during lunch yesterday. Of let's call it a 50-hour work week, I was on the phone for 30 of those hours.
No, thank you.
That's 60% of my time I was on calls, meetings.
Ugh.
Tell me, tell me why. That's it, actually. Just tell me why.
And I'm gonna guess of all those phone calls, 60% of them could have been emails.
At a minimum. At a minimum.
No, not even
So,
70.
yeah, needless to say, we're thrilled it's a 3-day weekend. I will be so mentally checking out. So we have big fun plans to do, obviously, medieval times tonight. We're gonna go mattress shopping because we need a new mattress. I can't wait to lay on all kinds of beds. And then I think I'm gonna blow up my little pool floaty again with some water and get my tan on.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, what do you guys? How's my birthday? What's going on?
Your best is good. Survived another school week. Shockingly.
Yes, killing it. Go Queen.
You know what? My favorite Cassie moment was the moment you went absolutely. I'm not even.
Feral.
Yeah, that's the good word. So there was a moment this week. I think it was Monday, actually.
I think it was Monday. Like you just kicked off strong.
So the tall one, in their homeschool program, they go into live classes. They are actually taught by a teacher. I think I've shared this. They go into what's called breakout rooms so that they have socialization with other students. He was instructed to share, all the students were, about if they had dogs, because it was National Dog Day, and if they didn't have dogs, to share about their dream pet. All right?
Oh, okay.
He was sharing about Rufio and Anastasia, our dogs. Well, there was
Yes.
this child in the class.
No. Where there was a little fucking demon in this class in
Okay.
his fucking breakout room. Okay. I'm
Yep.
sorry, I'm getting heated again.
The teacher cannot be in every breakout room because, like, she just hops in and out to see that they're socializing. The tall one is sharing, and the child is telling my child to shut up repeatedly.
No, he told him to shut the fuck up, didn't he?
It started as shut up, shut up, shut up. When my child clearly was either ignoring him or not hearing him, then it turned into shut the fuck up.
When Kelly shared this news with me, I think my response was,
You came
quote,
so unglued so fast. Aunt
I
Cassie
think
came
my
out of the woodwork
I
so
was so
quick.
pissed. I think my response, and meanwhile, I'm pretty sure this was after like my third call of the day already at this point, and so I was like already unhinged on my side. Then I read this shit, and I think I responded, quote, "Let me into the room, and I'll tell that kid to shut the fuck, or I'll give that kid to tell somebody something to shut the fuck up about." I got like so, I had such beef with this child. It's not even funny.
I had beef with the child. Lo and behold, there was another child in the class who was in my kid's class last year. And
She has the coolest name, by the way.
she does. She stood up for him immediately
We love to see
as I
it.
was intervening. And when she stood up for him, things kind of escalated because she was yelling. The other kid was yelling. My child just muted himself because he doesn't like yelling. Um, it all got
I
taken
love it
care
all.
of. But shout out to her because she stood up for
The
her.
MVP,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it all worked out. And the teacher took care of everything. But it was just really unfortunate. That was an
That
unfortunate way to
sucks.
start the week, honestly. However,
That little fucking punk.
well, what makes me sad is clearly he's being talked to like that at home.
Yes. Yeah, obviously, because it doesn't just come out of nowhere.
He doesn't
Like,
just know those words.
honestly, so now I have beef with both his fucking parents and this kid. They all suck. They're all on my shit list.
Yeah.
Right up there with Thaddeus 1964.
Yep. So, um, in other news, we went to Disney this week, and that was a nice day. Um, today we're
Minus an
going
injury.
minus an injury. It's fine. Everything's fine. And tomorrow, a friend of ours is helping us move some stuff around our house. So,
Oh, like a little rework. Fun.
yes, the pianos. So, we're
Oh.
finally getting
Okay,
that
it's still
taken care of.
fun.
Yep. So, you know, just average, average
Just
weekend.
vibing with the chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
that's
3 day
what we
weekend,
do.
so we're enjoying.
So, thrilled to say, of course, we've hit our 13 minutes of intolerable banter.
Yes, we have.
Are you ready? Are you ready to do a shitty job of covering our topics too? Because that's something somebody else said one time.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm ready to share my lackluster research when you are.
Oh, of course. Me too. I think you're really good.
I'm
I think the listeners are going to be thrown through a loop once they hear what I'm covering because
I want to do yours. I think I went first last.
okay. So, the title is Al Capone expiration dates, and you might hear that and go, okay, mob gangster head dude and expiration dates. He's killing people. No, that's not what you think it is.
Oh.
It's not what you think it is at
Oh.
all. This is a huge rumor of
A
history
rumor. Oh.
that Al Capone had a huge play and say in expiration dates and food. That he was the reason that milk has sell by dates and
Are you
expiration
serious
dates.
right now?
Apparently.
This is 0% the direction I thought this was going
I
in.
told
Okay.
you. I told you.
I can't wait to hear this link. And I think I've shared with you. My family has like loose ties to Al Capone. Did I? No. So my grandma, back in the day, my grandma stood up in the wedding of one of Al Capone's like trusted like people. So we have
Shut
like
up. I'm
very
not
loose
surprised.
ties.
Chicago.
Chicago, and we're Italian. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly.
God, I
Yeah,
love
so there
this
you
for
have
you.
it. The more you know. Yeah.
God, this is getting more interesting by the minute.
Tell us about the milk.
Okay. Al Capone led
There he is.
the Chicago Mafia, as we all know.
And stay strange.
That's it. That's
Take care.
from the 1920s to the early 1930s. This was during the Prohibition era, when rival mobs competed for control over legal alcohol distribution. Capone's grandniece, Deirdre Marie Capone, claims that he earned 100 million from bootlegging each year. Right?
First of all, I'm about to start taking up bootlegging of some variety.
Same.
I mean, really? Like,
Apparently, in response to the prohibition ending, Capone began looking for another source of income that would be safe from the violence of mob life. I don't buy it.
sure.
But like,
Sure.
sure, let's believe he was going down this path of good, right? Let's pretend he was really turning over a leaf of good
Yeah.
life. I want to
Yeah.
believe in good for him, okay?
The Reverend Al Capone.
He figured that selling milk could be his next viable venture, considering
Okay.
considering they already had the bottling for alcohol going,
Right,
right?
right. I'm just, what a 180, but okay. Yes.
Milk was marked up more than alcohol at the time, and unlike liquor, everyone could drink it.
I mean, it makes sense. It's a
Logic
good
was
business.
there.
Yeah, like, it's there. I'm following.
As the story goes, Capone was initially inspired by a relative who got sick from drinking the expired milk, and he noticed an opportunity to innovate the milk market, which was unregulated at the time. Capone had a charitable nature and frequently served those in need at soup kitchens.
I'm learning so much right now.
He established the soup kitchens around the city apparently.
He's just a criminal with a heart of gold, apparently.
Yeah, he apparently that earned him a reputation for being a modern day Robin Hood.
Exactly. It
Yep,
is giving Robin Hood.
making him popular with everyday folks.
Yeah, everybody in Chicago was like, yeah, you can stay.
Once more, he controlled most of the bottling facilities. So he would go on to lobby the Chicago City Council to create a law that required milk bottles to be stamped with expiration or sell by dates
Uh,
because he was so outraged by his family member getting so, and I think it was actually his niece that got so sick from drinking expired milk.
Am I Al Capone? That he was this outraged about the milk and I was so outraged about the kid in the tall ones class? Am I Al
You
Capone
might
reborn?
be.
Oh God, I love that for me.
One of these
Okay, I love
times.
this. I love this energy for Al Capone.
Hmm.
How did you? I mean, I know we're not at the end yet, probably, but
No, we actually are. I came by this
oh,
by a good friend of mine who does not want to be named. I'll explain later.
okay.
But
Nameless friend.
he brought it to me and he's like, "Hey, did you ever know about this? I think it'd be a fun topic for oddities." And I was like, "Damn
Thank
right,
you,
you're
nameless
right."
friend. You, you son of a bitch, I'm in.
And then actually, my sister brought it to me too, and I was like, "Funny you're bringing this up. I'm covering it in a few weeks."
Okay, so thank you, nameless friend and sister.
Yep.
How cool. Wow. I I love this. I wonder how they found out about it.
There is actually I've had a hard time like finding factuals on this.
Ah,
Snopes couldn't even confirm or deny it.
I hope it's true.
and
I fucking hope
and
so.
the reason I feel like it can't be confirmed or denied, mob.
Mob. Honestly, that's it right there. It's the mob.
It's the mob. I want to believe it.
I mean, me too.
It's so
Absolutely.
good.
I think we have to choose the things that we believe in life, and this, my friend, is going to be one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all there is to it.
So there you
That's
have it.
amazing.
Al Capone
I
is responsible for expiration dates in more ways than one.
In more ways than one, in every sense of the term, expiration. That's amazing. Wow. I'm going to tell Corey about this at medieval times. It's going to be our dinner conversation while we eat with our hands. I'm so excited.
Enjoy.
Couldn't pos could not possibly be in a different direction from you.
I
I'm
believe
starting a
it.
small mini Yep, I'm starting a small mini series
Yes!
of just like some of the weirdest locations across various states. We're just taking like a little road trip, if you will.
I love that for us. Where are we going?
We're going to Oklahoma today.
Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plains.
Oklahoma's the last fucking place I want to go to because of tornadoes.
I
That's
mean,
exactly it. Although apparently
valid.
now Pennsylvania's the new tornado alley, so fuck me. But
It's a good thing you've got a basement.
I'm talking, that's right, and we're about to finish it, and it's going to be nice as hell to hang out down there when we have tornadoes. Um, I'm talking about the Shaman's Portal today, of course.
You
So
know
the Shaman's
what?
Portal
Okay, I could
of
see it.
Oklahoma. Yeah, yeah. It's one of those places, according to people, that just like feels creepy. Like, you like go to a spot and you're like, ooh, the vibes are off. And this such place is right in the Oklahoma Panhandle, right outside of a small town called Beaver. Right. So there's that. So if you're unfamiliar with the overall geometry of the state of Oklahoma, it has a region known as the Panhandle, kind of like the one in Florida. Um, right. The Oklahoma Panhandle has a sordid history involving indigenous individuals, Spanish conquistadors like I'm sorry, not Francesco, Francisco Vasquez de Coronado, a period of relative lawlessness and feuding over which state it should belong to, and hard times during the Dust Bowl. So we've got a lot of shit going on.
Yep.
With the long, like, relatively contentious history in the area, you can probably guess that it, of course, has some strange shit going on. What you might not guess, though, is that, of course, there's a region within the Panhandle that's actually full of sand dunes. Dunes like in a desert. Like sand dunes in Oklahoma. So, the town of Beaver is situated right on the banks of the Beaver River. The Beaver public school system comprises schools such as Beaver Elementary and Beaver High School. And yes, you guessed that the mascots are beavers. So there's that. But of course, all of these things are inside Beaver County, which might sound rather innocuous, of course, given the name, but don't be fooled and don't get distracted by the fact that, in fact, Beaver actually hosts the annual World Cow Chip Throwing Championship every April. But anyway, there's only about 1,500 people in this town, and the Beaver Dunes Park is only about a 3-minute drive from like downtown. The proximity of the two means that people will often rent dune buggies and head up to the 520-acre park to hit the sand dunes for like some like adrenaline, like you're tooting around like having fun in the dunes of Oklahoma. And the park also has fishing, hiking, there's a playground, a couple campgrounds, but some people go into the dunes and are never seen or heard from again.
Ooh.
Oop. And it's not a new phenomenon. There are actually a lot of legends about this. Yeah? Were you going to say something?
The dunes, are they getting buried? Like,
No, we just don't know. So some of the legends of strange disappearances are relatively recent, but Beaver Dunes Park is actually like kind of an exception to this because the stories actually go back at least to the 1500s.
oh.
And it's not only known as obviously Beaver Dunes Park, but also the Oklahoma Bermuda Triangle, No Man's Land, and the Shaman's Portal. They are all in one. So, we mentioned the Spanish conquistador, Francisco Vasquez de Coronado, for a reason. There's this story about him and the Shaman's Portal. Supposedly, Coronado and his like crew of conquistadors like passed through the Panhandle back in 1541. And while in the area, they happened across the sand dunes. They did like a little exploration. They were like, "Ooh, sand. Let's go check it out." Whatever. Direct quote, right? So Three of his men disappeared in the sand dunes. They saw eerie, floating green lights in the distance and chased after them, but each of the three men never returned because they
Oh,
all vanished in flashes of green light. And this is allegedly documented in Coronado's journal.
flashes of
Aliens.
green light. Aliens.
Aliens. Gotta be. So legend has it that the dunes are actually, according to this, an ancient Native American burial ground, and that the Native Americans, we don't know what tribes, we don't know who, but apparently they warned Coronado not to go there. Legend also has it that the dunes area was a crash site for aliens, and that the aliens are somehow trapped in the region. How we just don't know, but that's the legend as it goes. So it's said that the United States military has been spotted in the area digging in the sand dunes. They say that the military retrieved a spacecraft from the area. Um, they do the Men in Black flashy lights amnesia thing to anybody who's asking too many questions, of course. And not only that, the sand dunes are cursed and haunted by ghosts. So, a full roundup of what we got going on here. Ancient and Native American burial ground. We're haunted by ghosts, probably as a result of that. Site of a UFO crash. Aliens. It's cursed. It's guarded by the military, and the Men in Black are hanging out protecting it. So we're beyond the trifecta at this point. We've included every possible stereotypical explanation, and we love to see it.
Wow.
So, I mean, I'm personally going to go with the theory that it's the site of an ancient alien crash.
Yeah, I dig that.
Because I mean, the dead aliens. Let's just loop this all together into one. The dead aliens turned into alien ghosts, which puts an alien curse on the area.
Yeah.
And then the military did a special top secret division, like the Special Paranormal Extraterrestrial Containment Tracking and Research Agency for Anomalous Life Forms, aka Spectral, because the U.S. government loves acronyms. And then they began working on ongoing containment operation, which includes putting they're like mind blasting all the local people of Beaver. And there you go, you have it all in one.
I
You like
I
it?
agree.
Okay. They also say that an archaeologist named Dr. Mark Thatcher from Oklahoma State University studied the dunes. I don't know why. I couldn't find why, but this is what is said. He did this for several years back in the 1990s, and then supposedly he was threatened and shut down by the US military. So, I couldn't, like, there was nothing beyond that. One more of the fascinating aspects of this whole thing is that there are so many explanations of what sounds like only a few stories of green lightning and a few unverifiable disappearances. Green lightning is, in fact, a real documented thing.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder what, if anything, is actually going on in Beaver Dunes Park. Um, I think it warrants probably more in-depth research. I think, honestly, if we're looking at it, like, logically, I mean, I think it's very possible that in Coronado's journal, he could be referring to something like green lightning. Um, and the men might have gone missing simply because it's a big area. It's 520 acres. They probably didn't have, like, enough supplies to get by, and they probably just died. And then if it's windy, as it is in Oklahoma, the sand dunes probably covered them up. I mean, that's my thing. As for this Dr. Thatcher and stuff, I mean, I don't know if the guy's real or not. I don't know if he actually was told by the military to shut it down. But anyway, yeah. And so I thought what I would talk about a little bit is green lightning because I think that's probably our most like plausible explanation here. If you're down to hear about it.
Well, yeah, I'm always down to hear it. But when I think green lightning, I remember being in Missouri during tornado season, and like the weather just changes the outside a different color when there's tornadoes coming.
Yeah, it's green.
It's
It's
green.
green outside.
So
Yeah.
that's what I think. Is that
Hmm.
what's happening here?
Tornado weather.
Yeah, is it tornado weather with it when it comes to the green lightning?
Well, so I think they're kind of like two independent things. But in the case of this, I don't see why it couldn't be one and the same. Like if they were hanging out in the Oklahoma Panhandle in Tornado Alley, like yes, the atmospheric conditions probably were there. And in terms of green lightning, like it could have just happened at once, right? So green lightning manifests when lightning itself, they acquire this distinct greenish hue during discharge. This is in contrast to the usual like blue, white, sort of purpley lightning that we're like used to seeing, right? Um, some often describe it as ethereal and otherworldly. Some say it kind of comes with this wonder and like fascination. So the precise mechanisms behind green lightning remain a little bit mysterious, and scientists are still investigating causes and origins, but there are several theories that have been proposed. One hypothesis suggests that the green color might result from interactions between atmospheric conditions, the composition of gases in the air, and the presence of specific elements or compounds. And additionally, the energy released during the lightning discharge may contribute to the excitation of oxygen molecules, leading to an emission of green light. Now, if we're talking about atmospheric conditions being funky and a little bit off, I think tornado weather
Yeah.
like suits that. It's pretty rare, it's pretty elusive. They're sporadic, they often occur under specific conditions that are not totally understood. Um, and observing green lightning requires a combination of fortuitous circumstances, including these favorable conditions, appropriate viewing angles, the presence of suitable lighting conditions, whatever. But yeah, there's ongoing research around it. And there are pictures of it, and it's really beautiful, and it is really spooky looking. So I totally like advise that if you guys are at all interested, look up some pictures because it's really cool. Um, but one of the most renowned instances of green lightning was actually captured during an eruption of a volcano in Chile back in 2008. Uh, um, and it makes for a really, yeah, it makes for a really remarkable photograph. Um, and it just kind of like, there's nothing really like spooky behind it. It's just kind of this, I know, it's really interesting, right? Like some of it's very, very
Green
vibrant.
lightning's freaking
So,
awesome.
yeah, and there is like, um, the hues that we observe in the skies that are like green around tornadoes and things like that, like are due to the way white light from the sun is scattered throughout the atmosphere. So on a typical clear day, the violet and blue spectrum is scattered the most, which is why we observe the sky to be blue. Light from the sun during sunrise or sunset, they have it's got like a greater distance to travel through the atmosphere. So the spectra are more scattered, leaving us to perceive the last colors of the rainbows, like, yellow, orange, sometimes red. Um, but researchers have found that the sky can turn green during thunderstorms or tornadoes if the storm cloud is aligned with a setting or rising sun, and you're at the right angle to observe it. And basically, at the end of the day, it just influences the way the light scatters. So usually, we see green skies, they indicate a large, tall thundercloud, and these are commonly associated with tornadoes and hail. So, you know, I think we can see all of these things coming together in one thing. The other aspect is yes, there have been incidences of green lightning in Tornado Alley as recent as 2019. In the heart of Tornado Alley, where severe thunderstorms are prevalent along with tornadoes, obviously, there are reports of green lightning. June 3rd, 2019, residents and storm chasers in Oklahoma and Kansas witnessed vivid displays of green lightning amidst intense thunderstorms. The green hue, of course, added this sort of eerie quality to the already tumultuous atmosphere, leaving observers in awe of nature's power. So, long story short, I think we have ourselves our own case closed here. I think that the shaman's portal and people going missing, what have you, these eerie flashes of green light, I actually think it's a meteorological phenomenon that they happened to capture back in 1520. And I think the people going missing, it's honestly just, it happens in these
Yeah.
massive state parks. Like 520 acres is huge. People go missing.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but I don't think that there are aliens. I mean, maybe if it is a Native American burial ground, we might have some ghosts on our hands. But I don't think that, so long as people aren't being dickheads,
Yeah.
you know. Um, so my personal vote of all these outlandish things, it's just weather.
And I could see that very, very easily.
Yeah, so there you have it. There's the science behind the shaman's portal.
Very
Pretty cool though,
cool.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Well
I
done.
enjoyed reading this one. Thank you, Basti. We love some debunking. You know how I feel about it.
Yep.
Yeah. So this was a good time. I love this episode. Would be curious of Cuervo to hear what listeners think about the expiration dates on milk and Al Capone, and also the shaman's portal. If anybody happens to be listening from like Oklahoma or like that area, or you visited like Beaver and like the Beaver Park or whatever, like if you have any stories, like do share it with us because I think it's pretty cool.
Would love to know what your take is on it.
Yeah, yeah. Although if I were an alien and I were to crash somewhere, I mean, it do be fitting the bill.
Yeah.
But anyway, until next time.
Stay strange.